Alright, welcome back everyone. So in this video, we are going to talk about string methods. Alright, first of all, welcome back to the lecturer. Okay, alright, so we all know that string is actually an object class in Java. Okay, so it's actually a library class that is provided by Java. Okay, so allow us to have string. Okay, unlike in C programming, we have to define string in terms of character arrays. Okay, so flexible enough, in Java, we have something we call as a string data type. Okay, so it's an object data type. Okay, all right. So string methods, we are going to talk about string methods in this video. Okay, so in string we have a lot of plenty of class methods that is allowing us to manipulate or to perform certain operations on the string. Okay, so I found this example on the internet which is perfect for us to use as an example, so for us to go through on what is actually a string method. Okay, so I believe this question is extract from one of the e-Genting programming competitions, so credits to them. Okay, right, so I'm going to use this for as an education purpose, okay, for me to show you on string methods. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and proceed to our NetBeans part. Okay, for us to do some practical on the string methods. All right. Okay, so first of all, before we go, let's have a look at the output. Okay, so the output here is actually in terms of console base, or what you can run it in command line interface, okay, or what we call as a CMD. Okay, but that's not what we are going to do. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to use NetBeans to perform something similar. Okay, so in this is what we call as the arguments. Okay, I'll show you later on in our program, so where this argument actually comes into place. All right, without further ado, let's move on to our practical sessions. Okay, so this is our code. Okay, so if you realize in main method we will have arguments string array of string as our arguments in all the main methods. Okay, so the arguments here is actually for you to run your arguments, okay, when you're using CMD. Okay, so it allows you to pass in the arguments in CMD. Okay, so in our case here, the arguments, we are going to put it as the name and also the title. Okay, just like the one that we saw just now. Okay, so you can go back to the video if you want to see the output. Okay, so you can backward a few minutes to see the result, the output. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Okay, so we are expecting arguments to be passed in this program. So what if, so we have to have a checking, okay, what if the user didn't pass in any arguments or pass in the wrong number of argument? So what we are going to do is we are going to prompt a message saying wrong argument. Okay, and then we terminate the program. Okay, terminate with error. Okay, so if in case the user already key in or already passed in the correct argument, so we are going to perform the actions. Okay, so first one, so we are going to extract the title. So how do we extract the title? We will always assume that the title will be always the last argument, will always add the last argument. Okay, so arguments. Okay, so we are going to access at the last position. So length -1. Okay, and then we'll have another variable for name to store our entire full name. And then another variable for us to store the name that we will be addressing the user. Okay, all right. All right, so next thing what we are going to do is we are going to go through the arguments, okay, to extract out the name. Okay, so for loop I equals to 0, I less than arguments dot length -1. Why -1? It's because that we always assume that the last variable is not our name. okay, because in this loop here we are going to extract the name only, okay. So that's why we -1, because the last one is always the title, which is irrelevant here, okay. So the next thing what we are going to do here is we are going to create a temporary variable for us to store the arguments, okay. So in this name here we are going to put it all to lowercase first, okay. And then next thing, okay, we are going to check, okay, if our name variable consists of anything or not, okay, because if we have something inside our name, so what we are going to do here is, okay, if we have something in the name, okay, if the, let's say for example the name string is not empty, so what we are going to do here is name plus equals, okay, we concat it with a space, okay. And the next thing, all right, now we have to check, okay, which one is actually the name that we are going to address the user, okay. So we check if temp, okay, dot starts with, okay, we know that for address name it will be always enclosed in the square bracket, okay. So we check if it starts with the square bracket, opening square bracket, and then we check whether it ends with closing of square bracket. And then next thing what we are going to do is, if let's say if that is the address name, what we are going to do here is we are going to replace, okay, all the square bracket, okay. So we're going to remove it, okay. So replace the opening with nothing, then replace again, okay, with nothing, okay. And then next thing is, so we already removed the square bracket, okay. So the next thing is we have to assign the value into our address name, okay. So when we assign the name, what we have to do is we have to make sure that the first letter is always capitalized, okay. So we substring means we want to cut off the string from the index 0 until the position 1, okay, means the first character, okay. And then what we are going to do here is we are going to change it to uppercase, okay. So we are going to capitalize the first letter, and then next thing is we are going to concat with the rest of the sentence, okay, so or the rest of the name, okay. So substring 1, okay, we start from index 1, okay. So this will be our address name, okay. Next thing, okay, what we are going to do is, if let's say this is not the address name, so we are going to do is we are going to concat temp, okay, same thing, substring 0 to 1 dot to uppercase, we are going to capitalize our name, concat it with the rest of the name, okay. All right, next thing is what we are going to do next is we are going to print out the name, okay. So let's go out from the loop, okay, and then we are going to print out the name, okay. So hi, and then the full name of the user, okay. And then we are going to print out, let me see what are we going to print out, okay. So to John Smith, wishing you a Merry Christmas, Mr. Smith, okay. So here we should be to, okay, and then wishing you a Merry Christmas, okay. And then we are going to concat it with the title of the user, okay, and the address name, okay. All right, okay. So now we have done with the program, okay. So let's check it, okay. So we have done with the program. So what we need to do next is, okay, so how we pass in the arguments by using bins, okay. So because in the previous output here, this is actually using CMD. So how we do it, very simple, just click on the project, right click, properties, go to run, and then you will see the arguments here, okay. So just paste in the arguments here, okay. Jack, Ryan, Cody, okay, and then you click on okay, and then make sure you press on here to run your file. Okay, so to Jet Ryan Cody, wishing you a Merry Christmas, Mr. Ryan. Okay, so it is that simple, okay, for this program. Okay, all right, so that is not just the string methods that we have. Okay, so we only demonstrate a few of the string methods that we have in the string Java class. Of course, there is plenty more. Okay, so these are the basic one that we will always use. Okay, all right, so that's all for the video for today. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, so bye bye.